Oh,
We are live. Hello, entrepreneurs. We are streaming live in 4 different places now. So, yes, this is my weekly 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when broadcast. And today, as promised, I have a very special guest, my friend Brooke, who is an amazing relationship marketer. And I never even heard that term until about 3 weeks ago. And I'm hearing a lot of new terms, pivot, relationship marketing. I can't even remember them all. But Sue, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
oh, I'm awesome. Thanks for having me, Joe.
Yeah, and this is amazing. This is actually my first successful broadcast using this StreamYard technology. And it's really unbelievable. And I have been saying ever since this pandemic started to be in the solution, and great things will happen. And great things are happening for both of us. Am I right, sir?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is the greatest time right now.
Is it crazy to think that it's a great time to start a business?
No, absolutely not. I think this is the best time ever to start a business. So I'm pumped. I've been having a blast, and
yeah. So let's get right down to it, because you and I both know the way that we can go off track. And we have an hour, and that's definitely not going to be enough time to cover everything that we want to cover. So where do we start? I think the best place to start is introducing you and telling your story.
Absolutely. So I'm Sue Brooke. Am I echoing?
A little.
Maybe I wonder if you mute, if that's testing. Oh, that's better. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up. Okay, I'm Sue Brooke. I'm so excited to be here. I am out in beautiful Street. I'm getting the feedback.
Okay, we're having technical difficulties here. So Sue will. Are you okay there?
Let's see, audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you hearing? Maybe.
We're hearing.
Okay, I'm not hearing any. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's all right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I live up here in Northern California. It's really echoing. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can fix the audio. Default.
Okay.
I'm going to try a different speaker.
I'm hearing you okay
Testing.
now.
How about that?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I clicked disable something. Okay, we'll try that. Now it's better. Okay, so I'm up here in beautiful wine country in Northern California in a little tiny, cute little kind of hippie town called Sebastopol. And I want to tell my story because there's kind of a reason why I'm here and why I consider myself an expert in relationship marketing. I'll go backwards a little bit in time. My claim to fame is actually, I started my first business when I was 21, 22 years old out of college. I went to school to be an elementary school teacher, like my father was a teacher, and much to his chagrin, I ended up starting my own ballroom dance studio because I worked for Fred Astaire Dance Studio. I knew nothing about business at that age, but I remember starting my business, and we were so excited, and we opened the doors and went, okay, now we need to get customers. That's kind of what business is about. So I learned very quickly, with having no money for marketing, that I needed to go out and build relationships and meet people. So I learned that way back in, when my very first business. So my big claim to fame was an educational learning center down in Santa Clarita, California, in Southern California. I literally started that business out of my living room. And again, I was a teacher before that. I'd gone back to teach. And I just started going out and meeting people. I put everything I had into my business, like most of us do, right? And I didn't have money for marketing. So I just made it my life's work to go out there and meet people and build relationships. And I became an expert at that. My big claim to fame is, or the big thing that changed my whole life, my life-changing experience was almost 2.5 years ago. Gosh, it'll be 3 years, July 1st. I got a random message on Facebook that said, hi, I'm a cousin of your mother's, and my mother died when I was 8 years old. She said, I have something important to tell you. You have a sister. And I was like, well, I know I have a sister I grew up with. She goes, no, you have another sister. So long story short, through ancestry, DNA, I discovered a sister. She discovered me, actually. And we met a little over 2 years ago. This is the day we met, and we did not plan the outfits.
Okay, so hold on a second.
Yes.
You just showed me this a couple of minutes ago, and I said, it can't be. This had to be staged.
No, we did not plan it. I got out of the car because I drove up here and we were hugging, and her sister-in-law was filming us, and she said, look at you guys, and we're like, oh my God. And that was us.
Let me see that picture.
Yeah.
I mean, you got this. How is that possible?
It is amazing. We do it all the time. That's the crazy thing. Like, I live on her property. I actually moved up here, and we'll get ready to go out to eat or something, and we come out of the house wearing the same clothes. Like, it's hilarious. We'll be in Target or somewhere, and we'll be trying on clothes, and or I'll say, hey, what do you think of this sweater? And she's like, I already have it. It's really, really amazing. So if you haven't put your DNA in, we're meeting tons of people. We were on the cover of, or not the cover. Well, we were on a cover of a local magazine. We were also in Women's World magazine. And yeah, it's been quite an exciting thing. But the reason I'm telling you that story, not only because it's so cool, is that I started coming up here to visit her. And she said, why don't you move here? And long story short, I said, okay. And I had sold my business a couple of years prior to that. So that I could help business owners. So I moved to Sonoma County, and we had fun for a couple weeks. And then she said, Sue, I got to go to work. So you're kind of on your own. And I was like, uh-oh, I know no one. I barely knew my own new sister. And I needed to meet business owners. So Joe and I work with John Limbacher, and I worked side by side with him. He's a high-level internet marketer, and I learned one big thing from him. Discover who's your most profitable avatar. Who do you need to meet? That's the first thing. And then where are they? So I wanted to meet business owners because that's who I love to work with. And where do business owners hang out? They hang out at Chamber of Commerce mixers, BNI groups, meetup groups. So here's what I did. I'm just going to share with you guys what I did. And yes, you want to do this. We can't go out and do that right now, but we can do this online. You find all the places where your avatar lives. So that's what I did. So I went out and I started meeting people. And I created a system. I call it networking for introverts because honestly, I really am an introvert at heart. And I was all alone, so I would just go to these things alone. And I'm going to share with you how I built relationships and how I have a 100% referral-based business. And I'm going to tell you some other stories about that too. So I'm very excited to go.
Okay, hold on. Because you just have so much energy. And you know, I was ready to start before we talked, and all of a sudden I got energized. And this is what I promised you, is you're going to energize and inspire people. You're telling me that you're really an introvert?
I actually am. Growing up in school and in college, I barely said 2 words. Like, I went to my 30-year high school reunion. My 40 year is like next month. And everybody, and I'm like dancing and talking, and they're like, you didn't say 2 words in high school. I was terrified. If you would have told me back then that I was going to be a speaker, I would have said, you are absolutely out of your mind. I'm terrified of it. So yes, I am an introvert, and at work, I have to work really hard to do that. But
Okay,
yeah.
so you're not only a speaker, you're a best-selling author.
Yes, I love speaking. I love teaching. Well, I'm a teacher at heart. That's what I went to school for. Now I just teach adults.
You went from being, in school, and now you can't shut you up.
Oh, I didn't hear. What did you say again? Sorry. I didn't hear that last part.
So you went from not saying anything to now you're just so full of energy. So I'm sorry, I stopped you.
The audio is a little bit strange here, so I didn't hear the last part. But yeah, so I want to Joe asked me to come on to share about relationship marketing. I call this my referral generation, customer retention and follow-up system and networking system. It literally is a system. And Joe, I love talking to Joe because Joe's a business guy too. And we both know, right, Joe, that systems are very important to have. So I created a system to go out and meet people. And now literally actually it happened just a few months after I moved here. Remember, I didn't know one single person. And now I literally can't go anywhere. Like, I definitely can't go anywhere without any makeup on or anything, because someone will come up to me and say, Sue, oh my gosh, how are you doing? I still have the card that you sent me on my desk. And it's what I did to, and I don't even remember most of these people because I might have met them once. So if it's okay, Joe, I can go ahead and share what I did and how I did it. Yeah? Zach. Oh, you're muted now.
Yeah, because that's where the vibration comes from. So I'm muting myself.
Oh, that's okay, good. So I want to tell you, so first of all, here's what I did. I would go and I would meet people. Now, when you go to networking groups or you're talking, even when you're meeting them online like this, you don't want to try to go meet everybody, right? You want to just go and build relationships with a few people. So relationship marketing is really about going out and building relationships. Here's what I see big mistakes people do online. People think they need to go onto social media and just spam their stuff all over the place, and they want to sell everything to everybody instead of going out and building relationships. So one of the things that I'm noticing right now, and I'm going to try to put in some things in here about what we should be doing now during this pandemic where we're like online and we can't be out there networking so much. We want to do the same thing. You want to do the same thing about building those relationships. So I'm going to get a couple things to show you here. So one of the things that I did when I went out networking and doing things is I would usually take a selfie picture of the two of us. I'd be going, oh, Joe, it was so nice meeting you. Let's take a picture so I don't forget what you look like. And then I actually have an app on my phone that I use. I'm all about tools. But tools only work if you use them, right, Joe? I mean, you can have tons and tons of tools. I have a lot of tools to use and resources, but I like to pick the ones that actually work, and I have to actually use them. So I would take a picture with someone, and then I would, from the app on my phone that I can share with you at the end, I can literally create a physical card like this. Well, I'm going to, here's an example of one. This is kind of what I send. I'll take a picture of the person I met, and I'll stick it on the front of this card, and then I'll write a nice little note on the inside. And then all my contact information, this is someone else's, on the back. So I would send them a card in the mail. Now, I'm not talking emails. I'm telling you guys right now, emails, nobody reads them, let alone opens them. I think the open rate's like maybe 5% now. I don't know. It's got to be low. But the reading rate, nobody reads. It's less than 1% of people that read emails. But greeting cards, if you send something in the mail, it's a 100% open rate, 100%. So if I send this card to someone and it has my contact information on the back, they're going to open it and they're going to keep it most likely. So I'm a huge card sender.
let me stop you. I'm going to mute you so we don't get the echo. Okay?
Okay.
So I have been talking since I started doing these Facebook Lives about principles and the fact that even though we're in a awful time now, that your business still has to go on. You know, you can't be sitting there waiting for the government to give us money. And you know, that's great if it's going to come. But the people that thrive and survive through anything are the people that stay in the solution, figure out the new term is pivot. And I'm seeing personally and just everywhere with people that I'm connected with, unbelievable things that are happening in business. Now, I know there's a lot of financial chaos. It's not going great for a lot of people. But I see people like my friend Paula Anderson, who has a doggy daycare spot, brick and mortar. Well, she's not just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen. She's making it happen. She's going virtual. I've seen a chiropractor go virtual. So where there's a will, there's a way. And one of the things that, and this was happened before I even talked to Sue about this, is I have been connecting with more people now than ever before and reconnecting, cementing my business relationships with clients because I'm saying, I'm calling them. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? So when Sue showed this to me, I said, oh my God, this is, forget about irresistible offer. This is, if I don't do this, then shame on me. So I'm gonna unmute Sue now, and so you heard everything.
Yeah, so Joe, I'm glad you're saying that because you know what I'm seeing right now is so many people. I'm wondering how many emails are you getting right now? Like I'm getting so many emails from every single business I've ever done any business with, you know, telling me this, that, and the other thing, and I'm just overwhelmed and I just delete them. I don't even read them. So I'm telling you guys, those of you that are in business right now, that are sending out something in the mail, not email, something unique. Stand out from the crowd, for goodness sakes, because once this is all over, who are they going to do business with? The one that sent them 3 million emails, or the one that maybe sent them, saw a picture like this on Facebook and sent a card to them, you know, that's sitting on their desk? Who's going to, I mean, I can't even, it's so funny. I'm so passionate about this because it's changed my whole life. You know, caring about people. It really is about caring. Joe, if you follow Gary Vaynerchuk is huge social media, you know, if you want to know anything about social media and personal branding, and he talks about the same thing, care about your customers. Right now, those of us that are out there reaching out to our customers, our prospects, our referral partners, anybody that you work with, and you just say, hey, I'm here. I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing okay. If you want to talk, let's talk. Those are the people that are going to thrive when this is over. And now.
Let me just mute you again for a second. You know, so a big part of what I teach, a big part of what I do is I take money out of the equation. It's not about the money. It's about those relationships. You know, you got to have relationships with the right people. And that's what Sue was talking about. Once you find your avatar, you find, you know, where you could be of most service. And that's why I'm in groups like WEN, the Women's Entrepreneur Network. And so, you know, those connections, that's what creates an indestructible business, because no matter what's happening outside, you still have those relationships. And Sue, you know, I'm going to unmute you now.
That's okay. I can take care of that.
You have to share that story about the financial advisor that you met.
Absolutely. So yes, I want to just I want to clarify with something what you just said. Now I'm just going to say I call relationship marketing. I actually call it crock pot marketing. So I'm going to ask you a question. Which would you rather eat food out of, a microwave or a crock pot? Right? Like microwave food, I lived on it for a while. It's disgusting. I can't even buy that stuff. It's like instant gratification, but it doesn't work that way. It's kind of yucky. So crock pot takes a long time. So building relationships takes a long time. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. I move out here. I met people when I very first moved here. Now it'll be 3 years in July that I moved here. And no, I moved here in November. Sorry. So it's only been a little more than 2 years. But it's taken some people 2 years. Right now, I'm getting people randomly calling me that I met once, that maybe I sent a card to, or I met for coffee once and we lost touch, and they're now wanting to work with me. And the second thing is, Joe, is not only I don't want people to think about this. Okay, let me share something with you. My thoughts when I meet people, whether I'm getting in a Zoom networking thing or I'm at a networking group or whatever, when I walk into that place and I'm meeting a group of people, most people go, let's just talk about a chamber mixer. Let's say you go to a chamber mixer. What do most people do? They have all their little business cards and they're out there collecting business cards. It's like you're a card collector and you're handing yours to everybody. And your mindset is this. Your mindset's, oh, there's 50 people in here. I'm going to get 50 new clients. No, please no. Here's what I do. I play a little game. Every person that you meet, now picture this. I don't have any PowerPoint slides, but every person you meet is a contact. Okay, so that's at the top of this little thing. Each contact you meet, it could be someone you met at Starbucks, you met on a Zoom call or whatever, they're going to fall into one of two buckets. They're either going to fall into the prospect bucket, which is actually a little bucket. They could be a prospect that turns into a customer. Maybe. I don't like that one. I want the referral bucket. It's a gigantic bucket. I want to meet someone like Joe who has, what is the average number of people everybody meets? It's like 200 or 300 or 600. I can't remember the actual one, but I want to meet Joe, build a relationship with Joe, and then I want him to tell everybody about me once he starts liking me and knowing I'm a good person. So that's really important. Sorry, I went off on that tangent, Joe. So here's what happened to me. One of my favorite stories is this. I went to a chamber mixer. I didn't know anybody there, and this financial advisor, his name's Dave, and we started a conversation. I said, hey, what do you do or whatever, and I took a picture of us, and I sent him a card in the mail that just said, hey, it was nice to meet you at the chamber mixer, would love to learn more about your business. And there's another little, if you caught that, I didn't say, hey, I want to come and sell you something. I want to tell you all about me. Nobody cares about you. You are going to care about them. So I went to his office and we're talking and he said, oh, I'd really love to meet again. I want to maybe explore more about working with you. And I said, yeah, I'm leaving early in the morning to go move my father into assisted living. We had just found out that he had dementia, and I was really nervous about it. And he automatically just said, Sue, don't worry. I know how hard it's going to be, the hardest thing you do in your life. Just let me know when you get back. And it was the worst thing I've ever gone through. I don't know if anybody's ever had to do that, but it was awful. And came back a couple weeks later, and in my mailbox, I opened an envelope, and this card was in the mailbox. And this is a picture of my dad and me. It's my favorite picture of him. It's the very last time we got to go out in public to eat dinner. And the inside of the card, he wasn't trying to sell me anything. He just says, greetings and welcome home. Thank you so much for our time together. I've been keeping you and your dad in my prayers. This is a tough time of transition for both of you. Looking forward to working together. And who am I going to send all my referrals to? Like, that's all I have to really say about that, because he cares. I don't know if he's a good financial advisor. I don't give a crap. He's a nice person. And we've become friends. I give him referrals all the time, and guess what? He refers me all the time. So that's what you want.
Look, I'm going to hear you again.
It's okay. I'll mute my
So one of the things that I told Sue when she was telling me about this is, I have a bulletin board up there, and one of my first mentors, Vinny D, he's still a great friend of mine. I still call him for advice. And what got me, I mean, this guy was unbelievably successful. And I never understood, when I was 20, he took me under his wing. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been a CPA because I was ready to give up. And I would get these handwritten notes from him. It just said from the desk of Vinny D. And it would say, "Hey, Joe, thanks for this." And I kept every single one of them. And I kept every single thank you card that clients sent. And I got emails from people that I don't even know thanking me for some video I did. So when Sue told me about this, I said, "Oh my God, that I never forget a client that thanked me." And it's powerful. So
I love that you said that, Joe. And Maya Angelou, my favorite quote is, "I've learned that people will forget what you did, people will forget what you said, but they will never ever forget how you make them feel, ever." And I put that on the back of a lot of my cards because it's so true. And it is all about appreciation. People want to be appreciated and thanked and loved. And I don't know if you know this, but have you ever heard, read the book called How to Sell Anything to Anybody by Joe Girard. Joe Girard, if those of you who don't know, he held the Guinness Book of World Records for, like, I don't even know, starting back in the 70s. Someone just broke his record. And the person that broke his record did what he did. And you know what his number one thing, it's a great book, by the way. His number one thing is he sent cards. He sent 13 cards to every single person he met, not people who sold cars to. He, every single person he met, plus their kids and their spouses and their families. And he would send a card every month and a birthday card. And that was his way of, by the end of his career, I just finished reading his book. I used to talk about it all the time, and I finally read it. It's unbelievable. He had lines of people waiting to buy cars from him because he did that. And this was way back before the technology that I use today. He actually had to hire teams of people to hand write and stamp and lick the stamp and send the cards. And oh my God, it overwhelms me. But that's how he became the Guinness Book of World Records for so many years, of selling the most cars in a year. He sold like 1,500 cars and 13,000 in his lifetime. And then two other people I have to mention along this whole thank you card thing that you were talking about, Joe. Mary Kay, multi-billion-dollar industry. Her thing is she told all of her reps to send 3 thank you cards every night before they go to bed. And those of you realtors out there, you've heard of Tom Hopkins. He has a thing called the thank you note habits in his book. And he sent 10 thank you cards every single day. And a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I'm telling you, the thank you cards is the least used mechanism for contacts. And the thing is this, you can send these cards out and thank you. You may never hear from anyone. And I usually say this to the end to say this, but if you send these cards and you're sending out love and kindness and appreciation, you do it for one reason, and that is only to stay in touch and thank them and appreciate them, not to get anything back. So I want everybody to understand that is, whatever you do, whether it is an email or it is a text or it is a phone call, if you're doing any of these things for the reason, and your intention is to get business back, you're not going to get it. It never works, ever. If you do it strictly to build the relationship and be kind, it will come back to you a millionfold. And so I just needed that little disclaimer in there when I talk about that.
Yes. Let me put you on mute again. So, Sue and I are students of The Science of Getting Rich, which was the book that led to the movie The Secret. And The Secret, you can watch it, but you got to read the book. And, it's all about having the right intentions. Like I said, I take money out of the equation. You know, I have a whole slew of clients from multimillionaires to people that are actually on welfare. And I treat them all exactly the same because I know, and you want to know something? Those people that might be at the low end of the financial spectrum, I get more love, more respect, more referrals from those people. So what Sue is saying is right on. So thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, so I want to talk about, so we talk about like meeting new people and going out and networking, getting referrals, okay, the referral bucket. And like Joe said, you know, the more relationships you build, those people are going to tell everyone. You, if you've never read, I think it's the book called Zilch, Zilch. It's the girl that started, oh my gosh, Dress for Success. It's a nonprofit. And she talks about all the ways to market your business for zero money. And it's the one thing that I remembered from that is creating your raving fans. So when you're loving on people and being kind to people and being that kind of person that other people want to be around, then it's just going to come back. They're your raving fans. They're going to tell everybody about you. So referrals, that's an easy way to get a referral business. So we've got referrals, and then once you get your customers, so you're out there and you get a new customer, then you want to keep them. So like Joe Girard was so smart. Think about this. Most people aren't going to buy a car every week. They're going to buy a car every few years. But he didn't just, I'm sorry, car salesman. I just like you guys, you're out there, you're selling cars, houses, anything big that people only buy once every so few years. You need to be keeping in touch with those people, because if you are kind to them and you give them a great experience and you keep in touch and stay top of mind, they're going to tell everybody. Joe Girard was so smart. All of his friends, when people said, I'm going to buy a new car, oh, you got to go to Joe. You know, that's just what they did. So customer retention, staying top of mind with your customers and people, your referral partners, like, you know, Joe's not a customer, he's a referral partner. Staying in touch is important. And I want to tell you, I have to tell you the story that just broke my heart. A realtor out of, I can't remember where he lived, I think Arizona. He posted something last year that made me go, oh my gosh. Here's what he did. He got into this system of the card sending system that Joe and that I've been doing, that's changed my whole life and my business. And he said, okay, I'm going to start sending these cards out. So he put all of his current real estate customers in there and his prospects. And he was sending cards and doing all the stuff, you know, that we were talking about. And one Christmas, he said, you know, I never put in all my past customers, all the people I'd sold houses or helped them buy a house. So he put all of those contacts in his system and he sent out a whole bunch of cards. Well, you're never going to believe what happened. Well, you probably will. A whole bunch of them came back. He posted a picture of all these envelopes with those little yellow tags, undeliverable, you know, return to sender. And he's like, what is this? And he literally went to the MLS. He looked up every single one of those people and he discovered a horrible thing. Every one of them had sold their house and bought another house with someone else. And he lost $2.5 million in sales because he didn't keep in touch with those clients. I'm going to tell you my own personal story. I don't have a picture of it, but I've owned 7 New Beetle cars, Volkswagen New Beetles. One of them has totally saved my life. I was in a terrible car accident. It saved my life. So I love the Volkswagen New Beetles. They don't make them anymore, but I've owned 7 of them. I bought my first one in 2001. And every one of those cars I bought from a different dealership and a different salesperson. Think about that. A different salesperson and a different dealership. Why? Because not one of them kept in touch with me. And do you know when those cars came out, people went crazy. I sold so many cars for somebody, but I didn't have anybody to refer them to. If that first person that sold me my very first New Beetle would have kept in touch with me and formed a relationship with me, he'd be a millionaire right now, because I've sold tons of Volkswagen convertibles. So keep in touch with your clients. I'm actually mad at them.
I'm going to put you on mute again. I have been streaming here. I hope it's all right with you. ways to get in touch with you, meetwithsue.com, and also this amazing, amazing mastermind group that you started that meets every Friday morning at 9:30 and Pacific time. So that's how they can connect with you, and you offer to give a free strategy session for people. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I love talking to people. I love coming up with ideas. Oh, Joe disappeared all of a sudden. Uh-oh. I hope he's still around. Oh, there he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, so I love helping people just come up with ideas. You know, masterminds are my favorite. Oh my God, they just energize me. I actually met Joe in a mastermind that we both joined. You know, him from New York and me from California, and we met, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And it is probably the most powerful thing you can create for your business. I truly believe that. So one of my giving back things and helping people through this whole crazy times right now is to create, I started doing masterminds, and we're only doing Fridays right now at 9:30, and we keep the groups small. And what we do is you get to have a hot seat, you get to put your burning question out and have people help you, because I know many of you, many people I know are stuck, and they're just like, they're so used to doing business the same way all the time. And right now you got to open your mind. But you know what, when you're in that place where you're scared and you're in a, it's like, this is a whole new time, you might just need one other person to spark something that makes your head go, oh my gosh, maybe your business is going to go off in a completely different direction. But that's why, like Joe, we listen to the Law of Success and Think and Grow Rich and all those. It's all about the mastermind, and it's about putting the two people together, which forms the third mind, which is the energies out of this world when you do that. So
And
hi,
now,
and it's
this is totally great. I want to mention that. The
yes, I'm doing them
mastermind.
yes, I'm doing them for free right now. So, and you know, this is another way it's interesting, because when you get a group of people that spend like an hour and a half together and you're learning about each other, everybody's becoming close friends. Like even between in that one session, I've had a lot of friendships develop, but more importantly, JV partnerships develop. It's like, oh my gosh, you have a business that complements mine, you know? So, and sometimes you don't think they complement each other, but they do.
Okay, one second. So Sue just mentioned something that I didn't even think about, thinking outside the box. So, and thank you for reminding me. So, it's not just our business. Maybe you can find a business that's related to yours, or somehow you mesh, like an accountant and a financial advisor, a life insurance guy, and maybe a mortgage person, for mortgage protection. But you want those relationships, and you can do joint ventures now. Joint ventures are going to be huge. And it doesn't mean you got to go partners with somebody and set up a partnership and an LLC. No, you just have a joint venture, an agreement between two people, and it works. It's powerful. That was one of the things Vinny D taught me, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So
You know,
you're up.
yeah, so joint venturing, you can have a serious, like a contract kind of thing, but my favorite thing is just, I call them referral partners. It's like, I'll give you a funny example. When I had my school, I had an educational learning center for 19 years that I started out in my living room, and I did a lot of networking. And so I would play a game with myself, and I would go and meet people, and I'd go, okay, I'm going in here. Let me see. I would meet someone like a plumber. Okay. Like I remember, this is a good story. So I met a plumber. I'm like, how does a plumber and someone that owns a tutoring business, how can we help each other? Well, to me, it was easy. Okay. Plumbers go unstuff toilets from families that have kids that stuff up the toilet. So they are around a lot of families that have kids. And guess what? I want kids. And then I have kids and families who have stuffed up toilets that need a plumber. So it was super easy. I said, give all of your clients free tutoring session, you know, to try it out. And then I will promote your plumbing. I'll send out things. So play a game with that. Like, think, how can, you know, it might even, you might think, well, there's no way that we can help each other. Well, you know what? There's always a way. Always. It's pretty fun, actually.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I muted you again because we haven't really described or explained exactly the method that you've been using. Because I'm hearing, okay, the car salesman, oh my God, how many stamps did he have to lick? And then he had to hire VAs and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God, all my clients, now I got to start, you know, and I told you I have stacks of Christmas cards that every year I plan on sending, but then time goes by and I got to write it out. And so I wind up just calling everybody saying Merry Christmas. So they never go out. So when you showed me this system, I said, oh my God. And also, well, I'll let you talk about it, Tom, but
All right,
yeah.
so yeah, so when I had my tutoring business, it was an after-school program. It was a private school. It was like I had tons of students and tons of families, and one of our systems was that I would go to the store. I would drive to the store. I would buy a whole stack of plain thank you cards, and then a parent would come in, they would take a tour, we would, you know, write out a thank you note, lick the stamp, find the address, take it to the post office. You know, it was a long and expensive, actually, ordeal. And then we also sent birthday cards to the kids and families, and we did that, but it just was so much work. It took so much time, and I spent so much money, not just on the cards and the stamps, but the staff to do that. So someone told me about this company called Send Out Cards, and I was like, well, I don't know. I already send cards, and I handwrite them, and, you know, I think we'll just keep doing that. It wasn't until someone said, Sue, you can take pictures of the students. These are parents that work all day. The kids are with you from 6 in the morning till 6 at night. You can put the pictures on the front of the cards and send it to them, and they're never going to throw the card away. And I'm like, what is this? And plus, you can do it from an app on your phone, and in like 30 seconds, you can send a card, and they stuff it, stamp it, address it, everything, mail it for you. You don't touch the card, and you can even put gifts in there. So I discovered this amazing system, and I'm like, this is way too good to be true. And I started using it, and I'm telling you guys, it's changed not only my life, it's made me a better person, because I'm on an unlimited subscription where I can send as many cards as I want, postage paid anywhere in the world for free, as many cards as I want on a low monthly subscription. And I just wake up every day and I find pictures of people, or I post, hey, post your favorite pet, and I'll put it on the front of a card. Yeah, I sent that one of Joe. He was one of his Zooms. And I do that all day. And you know what? It makes me so happy. There's a thing called dopamine that is actually, I never get sick. I can't even tell you. I literally was thinking that, when's the last time I actually like had a cold or flu or anything? And I don't remember when. And it's every time I start feeling depressed or sad, or like I might be getting something, I just send a few cards, and I literally, it makes me so happy, because I'm sending the cards once again just to make somebody smile, not to get business, not to get anything back. So the system works like this. And Joe, you're going to put up we have a link for you to go send a free card right now where you can test the system out just for free. You can postage and everything. You can go send a free card on Joe. Joe's giving you a link so you can send the card for free. Just go there. It's sendoutcards.com/bedrock. And you'll just click send card and go through, send a free card. And please, whatever you do, make it count. Send it to someone that really needs the love. These cards save lives a lot of times. I mean, I've heard people, I get people calling me in tears saying, no, you're the only person that has sent me a birthday card, or I really needed to hear that today. One of my favorite things, I'm just going to show you a couple of things. I love coming up with positive quotes, and then all my contact information's on the back of the card. And I like to send these out because people put them on the refrigerator and they don't throw them away. You can send, oh, and this was a good one. They have cool cards that are already have messages, and then you can get it in there. This is my uncle Vernon, who's 97, I think, and he was dancing with his wife, and it says there's magic in this moment. I sent them this one and myself. They have postcards, small postcards, and they even have gigantic cards. This is I sent this to my sister with all of the pictures of all of us the first year that we were together. And they just have really cool stuff. They have some really neat ones for right now. I sent this to a couple hundred people. It's a word search, and it has a word search in there. And like I said, you can put your branding on the back. So this is the best marketing tool. It's my only marketing tool that I use, and it's a blast. So there's two ways that you can send the cards. The whole company was built on the heartfelt prompting card. And what that really means is this. The founder of the company, he was young and he was getting ready to move to New York from Salt Lake City, Utah. And he had his wife and his young daughter in the car. And he was in a hurry, and he said his goodbye to his mom, and he saw his older brother down the road. And he had a prompting, a thought that I really need to go tell my brother I love him and goodbye. And he said people were waiting and they were busy, and he just said he didn't do it, and he ignored the prompting, moved away. And 2 months later, he got a call in the middle of the night from his mother that his brother had been killed in a tragic accident. And he just promised his brother and God and the world that he was going to create a way for people to act on their promptings and send out kindness in a moment's notice. My father has dementia. He's, obviously in lockdown. I haven't seen him in a long time. I don't know when I'm going to be able to. And I can send him literally a card every day, maybe with a box of brownies. He loves the brownies. And I can send him a card every day. And I pay $97 a month. And I can send as many cards as I want anywhere in the world, postage included, on a moment's notice. And it's amazing. So you can do that. There's also some other things. This is my holiday card I sent last year with my sister and I. And I created my holiday card. I chose a group of people I wanted to send it to. I pushed send, and my holiday cards were done in like less than 5 minutes. And I had people going, I've been working on my holiday cards for a month. You can also schedule cards out to be sent. You can put people in a campaign and schedule cards to go out automatically on people's birthdays, so you don't even have to think about it. So it's an amazing system. I'm happy to share it with you and talk to you about it. Please, contact me. I'd love to come up with ideas for you. So does that help, Joe?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to put you on mute again because I want to make a couple of important points here. So this is a business. It's a network marketing business. And Sue approached me with this a couple of years ago. And I said, I don't do network marketing. I've done enough of them. I'm not interested. And she let me slide. And I'm not happy about that because she gave up. This time, when I looked at it, forget the network marketing part. I mean, that is tremendous. That is a tremendous opportunity. There are bad ones out there. They've given network marketing a bad rap. But there's a lot of people out there, big people that endorse them, like Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, because it is a viable business model. Okay. But put that on the side. Just for me as a business owner, to be able to connect with anybody is important for my business. But then I had an epiphany, and something Sue explained to me today. You don't have to be in the business. You can just be a customer. So that link there, you're not signing up for a business. You're just signing up to send somebody a free card. And then if you want to send other people cards, you can send them. You don't have to pay a monthly fee. Or think about that. And I'm thinking, oh my God, those Christmas cards that are in my closet. uh, even if I'm not in the business or in a business, why wouldn't I do this? Well, the accountant in me said, well, okay, you get one free, and then you got to pay for the card, and you got to pay for postage. But then I looked at what it is. It's less than $3 a card for quality cards. And I'm thinking every time I go and I have to spend time and go to the store, I'm spending $5 or $6 for a card. So I'm like, this is a no-brainer. And I can't. And Sue, I'm still not happy that you let me slide, because I could have been doing this years ago. So
I come up to me to say, you need to use send out cards when I had my tutoring business, when I had my school. And here's what they did. They said, Sue, you need send out cards. I'm like, well, can we meet for coffee? I'm like, no, I have employees. I have 2 locations. I'm busy. I don't have time to meet for coffee. What is it? Well, you can send a card from an app on your phone. And I'm like, that's dumb. I handwrite my cards. I'm not interested. Not one person said, Sue, did you know you could put pictures on the front of the card and send it out? They're gifts. You could send gifts, and told me all the things this amazing system could do. Nobody did until after I sold my business. So I'm really pissed off at them because they didn't explain to me how I could use it for my business. That's why I want to talk to you. If you're going, well, I don't think it's going to work for me. Hey, I can tell you how it's going to work for you. I have tons of ideas, and there's whole sets of cards in there for different niches. And I want to also, Joe, thanks for bringing these things up. Number one, everyone needs to be a customer. You can be a customer. You can have a free account. They have different things. The 97 is the highest. If you're sending more than 30 cards a month, you want to get on the unlimited, because not only are the cards like, I send so many cards, I pay less than the price of postage for my cards because I send hundreds of them a month. So, but they have like a 37 a month where you can send 30 free cards. You just pay postage, and they have a lower amount as well. So this is number one, be a customer no matter what. And you can be on a free account and pay $2.75 a card, which is still cheaper than Rite Aid or whatever. Second of all, I'm all about, and I know Joe is too, affiliate marketing. You can be an affiliate of Send Out Cards. It's $59 a year. Like, that's nothing. And then if you're an affiliate, and if you know anything about affiliate marketing, and if you don't, you should. If you share Send Out Cards with people and use your affiliate link, then you get a percentage. You'll get commission checks on anything that they spend. So you can be just an affiliate of Send Out Cards. Or, like Joe said, it is a network marketing company. If you want to build a team and a whole business around it, you definitely can. And I just want to say the last thing. When I first got introduced to this, I was completely against network marketing. I was the person that's like, don't even talk to me. I thought it was terrible. I said, I'm not going to do this, but I'll use it for myself. I'll try it. I was like skeptical. And then here's what happened. I started sending cards to people, and then I remember this girl who she's a single mom. She had a residential cleaning company, and she said, Sue, I need more customers. I need some help. And I'm like, oh my God, my whole everything just finally exploded. I went, you should be taking before and after pictures, or pictures of their house. It's all clean, and then send them a card that says, oh my God, I love cleaning your house. I can't wait to come back in 2 weeks. Here's a box of brownies. And by the way, tell your neighbors and I'll give them a discount or something. We came up with a whole plan. And she's like, really? And then my business advisor from the SBDC hadn't heard about it. He's like, this is the greatest thing in the world. I want to sign up. So guess what happened? They started sending me checks in the mail. This honest to God happened. I'm like getting $140 here, $200. I'm like, I called the guy that signed me up. I said, Send Out Cards keep sending me money. I have no idea why. Can you please? I think it's a mistake. And he's like, we need to meet. And so he looks and he goes, oh my God, you're a manager and you're almost a senior manager. I'm like, I don't know what this means. I don't get it, but I mean, I like it, but I don't get it. And so literally I started building this business doing nothing but sharing it. So And then I have people that, like right now, I'm really sharing it because right now everyone needs to be doing this. It's from my heart to yours, you guys. If you are not keeping in touch with your clients and you're not sending out love and kindness to people that are sad, they're depressed, they're anxious, the suicide rate's so high right now. And I'm talking to so many people who are lonely, and this one card could change their life. They could save their life. I'm not joking. I send beautiful cards to people when I see them post a picture of their child or their dog, or sympathy cards. And the last thing I've heard from many very, very successful people, never miss a birthday or a funeral. There you go. Never miss a birthday or funeral. If you do nothing else, do that. So I'm done with my rant.
How hard is it to do this, to actually send a card? Like, can my mother do it? Not that, mom she will be watching this, but she's great at the computer. But how difficult is it?
Well, it's like, how easy is it is really the question. You can do it two ways. If you're on your computer, go to what Joe's got there, sendoutcards.com/bedrock. You need to use that link on your computer. That will let you send a free card. Now, Joe, do you know your sponsor number? Because download the Send Out Cards app. Okay, the Send Out Cards app looks like a little envelope. So download Send Out Cards, and when it comes up, it looks like this. When it comes up the first time, Joe's going to, hopefully, if you have your number, Joe, if there's any way for you to put it in there or tell people, if you go and download the Send Out Cards app, it will say continue as a guest. And then it'll say, what is a sponsor ID? So Joe's going to give you a special sponsor ID so you can send a free card and get a free account. So essentially, normally I would share my screen with my phone, but this is the app. There's tons of cards. There's thank you cards, love cards, holiday cards, cards for right now, super cool ones. And they have build your own cards. So like right now, I'm going to do this, and it's going to give you an idea of what I do when I'm networking. I usually take a picture, and so like right now, I could take a picture of the screen. I'm going to take a picture of the screen of me and Joe. And I'm going to go on my Send Out Cards app, and I'm going to click Build Your Own. And then you can choose, I don't know if you can see this or not, but you can choose if you want a vertical or horizontal. So I'm going to do a horizontal card. I'm pushing Create, and I'm going in here, and I'm going to put the picture of Joe and I from the screen on the front of the card. So here's this is going to be pretty funny. So it's putting the picture on the front of the card. So there's the front of the card with Joe and I, just a kind of silly card. And then I'm going to go to the inside, and I'm going to voice text a message, and I'm going to say, hey, Joe, it was so fun doing the show with you, ! New line. Call me when you get this, .. New line. You're awesome, ! New line. So then I'm stopping that, and I have the inside, and then I have the back of the card with my stuff on it. And I can go in, and I'm going to pick Joe. I'm going to push send, and it says free. Congratulations, you just made the world a better place. And I just sent you a card, Joe. So that's how fast it is. Sorry I couldn't really show you on the screen, but you can.
So you took the picture, and I'm going to be getting that in a couple of days. Unreal. All right, Susie. Thank you so much. Let me unmute you.
Sorry, I can't help it. I get so excited. Yeah. So you guys,
it's contagious.
There's Joe's number. Make sure that you try sending a card today, and please make it count, and send it to someone that you love and care about, or a client that you want to keep in touch with, and please share I would love to share the cards that you send, and and just wait a few days. When they get the card, that's another dose of that serotonin or dopamine or whatever. So it's pretty fun.
All right, thanks, Susie. Joe DeChara, that's our story. We're sticking with it. Over and out. Thank you for joining us. And I will see you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again. Thank you.